What's up, guys? Thank you for staying tuned in. Thanks for coming back. I hope you guys have enjoyed all my builds. I'm finally bringing to you my Dragon Knight, my stam DK. You probably have already seen the build in action, as I've posted quite a few videos of it already. So this is a basic rundown of the skills. We're already getting into them. We're running Hardened Armor. The reason for this one is for the magic damage that you return to melee attackers. I like this one a lot better than the other more than volatile. Resolve and vigor. Obviously, you want a better heal. Igneous shield. You can see our heal go up from 8 to 10k. So definitely run Igneous shield. You get that 25% extra heals. We're running shuffle. Now I was testing quite a few things, and I was running the Serpent Mundstone for this build. We were running heavy armor, so we went the Serpent Mundstone so that we can get more recovery. Excuse me. But since we swapped back, I know heavy armor is getting nerfed on the next patch, so we swapped it back to medium armor. Let's see, the two-hander skills are the basic two-hander skills. The expert hunter you can swap. You'll see in my videos I like to use rearming trap. It's really good for when you're fighting multiple people. You drop your trap, you can catch somebody there off guard. If you're fighting a magic tune, you'll definitely drain their stam with that rearming trap. They won't have a lot to block with. You'll see a couple of magic builds, dodge rolling, dizzying swing, obviously, and then take flight. I like take flight. You can run Dawnbreaker or smiting, but I like take flight. You can see the difference in damage, and also the range is greater, and it's cheaper than Dawnbreaker. It's a great ultimate to have. I love take flight. For your sword and shield bar, you can use barrier if you're running with 4 or 5 people in your group. There wouldn't be a need for you to run your spell wall. You could run it if you're solo or with 2 guys. So you can see Dawnbreaker slightly increases your weapon damage, but not by much. Again, this is with the Serpent Mundstone. See here some of the passives we're using. We're not using any passive for the tree because we're not using any of the skills here. For this one we want all our passives, and for the next one we want all our passives. For the two-hander you want all your passives. For sword and board you want all your passives. You want all your passives in medium armor. For heavy armor, only take the first 3. You don't need all the passives. We have them all because we were testing out the build with heavy armor. Well, performance-wise, as far as resistance and damage, medium armor is definitely a lot better. Try to get your Undaunted up. I'm still working on mine, getting more stam, magicka, and health. Continuous attack buff is a must. Where you're getting some of our support also. We are running Orc for this build. You could probably go Redguard. Redguard is probably really good. Alchemy, make sure you have that medicinal use. 30% longer on your potions is really, really great. See if we can find something so I can show you guys the damage that we can get. We'll probably go after that mammoth. That way we'll have a little bit more constant damage. Get our sets to proc. Now I know you guys, if you see the build, we were sitting at about 17k max magicka, 30k stam. I know it's a little low. You can probably increase it with the glyphs. We're running tri-stack glyphs on some of them. 35-14 with the weapon enchant. This is again with the Serpent Mundstone. 3707. It's hard to get this to. I have a picture uploaded at the end of the video. You guys can see the build fully buffed, sitting about over 3k stam recovery. We're running about 4,400 weapon damage. That is with our assault passive buff, continuous attack. So this is the setup that we're running. 7th Legion on your back bar. Sword and Shield of the 7th Legion. We're running a Maelstrom Mole. Excuse me. We are running a precise two-handed mole, but if you have the Nern, obviously it's better. Since we're doing 3 and 4 on our back bar, if you could get yourself a 7th Legion two-hander, you can run that if you don't have the Maelstrom. That way you can keep your 4th bonus. We're running 2 Bloodspawn, and for the body we're running 5 Shackle Breaker. So we went heavy chest, heavy legs, and everything else is medium. And you guys see the build. You can see how tanky it is, even in medium armor. We're running 1 stam recovery glyph and then 2 weapon damage glyphs. And there's the Serpent Mundus. We'll switch it right now to the warrior. You guys can see the difference. You still get plenty of recovery just because you're in medium armor. Also, your two-hander passive gives you more recovery after you kill an enemy, and then you pop your potion, plus your Cyrodiil continuous attack buff. So there's really no need for the Serpent on medium armor. Also, you can run Tri-Stat Food. It's a lot better than Dubious Cameron. You shouldn't really have too many sustain issues. I'm an orc and I do pretty okay, so if you're like a red guard or something, you'll be better. So we're having a hard time getting this set to proc, but in PvP it's usually constantly procking. You're taking a lot more damage, more constant damage at least. At least let's get that light attack in there and show you guys with the weapon enchant. Yeah, it's taking too long. So 3847 with the Warrior Mundus. That's without 7th Legion proccing, without our continuous attack buff also. So, and you can swap that stam recovery glyph for more damage also if that's what. Overall, it's a great build. We get a lot of resistance, we get a lot of sustain, and you also have a lot of damage. Make sure you get your heavy attacks into between your spammable. This is the CP setup. We get a little bit into Magicka recovery also for our buffs. Tenacity 43 points. We do a lot of heavy attacks. We got cost reduction into blocking pretty high because we do a lot of blocking. Blessed. I know you're a Dragon Knight with Igneous Shield. You don't probably need that much, but I like to have that strong heal. You can go powered on your back bar on your sword also if you don't have the infused. But this is our basic CP setup. We are running some into, I think it's heavy armored focus, but because we're switching to medium, you want to swap this to your your medium armor, I'm sorry. See, we resistance wise it's pretty high. This is without Bloodspawn. With this Bloodspawn you get a little bit more resistance, so it's super tanky, it's super powerful. You guys probably have seen my videos. If you haven't, you can check them out in my YouTube page. And if you stick around, I put some clips up of the build in action so you guys can see it. I hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for staying tuned in, and hopefully we can get more builds coming in. Thanks again, guys.